Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been anywhere near the tech news lately, you are probably terrified, right? The headlines are screaming that the industry is completely collapsing and that AI is coming for literally everyone's job. But what if I told you that the reality inside the hiring committees is completely different? Today, I'm putting on my insider hiring manager hat to give you, especially those of you who are mid-level engineers, the real, unvarnished truth about what's actually happening behind closed doors right now. We're going to tear down those confusing public headlines and give you a crystal clear look at what companies are actually doing.
Here is our pivot playbook for today. We'll hit the 2026 market disconnect, the AI replacement myth, a tale of two markets, the hiring manager's wish list, and finally, how to win the interview. We're building a concrete, no-nonsense roadmap for your next career move.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, the 2026 market disconnect.
To figure out where we're going, we really have to look at the bizarre contradiction we saw in the first quarter of 2026. I'm sure you saw this terrifying number dominating your feeds. 52,000 tech layoffs in just one quarter. I mean, that was the highest Q1 total since 2023. We saw massive cuts. Oracle announced up to 30,000 layoffs, often letting people know at 6 a.m. by email. Rough, right? Amazon cut 16,000 corporate roles. Meta, Dell, Atlassian, the list just kept growing. Honestly, if you stop reading here, you'd think tech is completely dying.
But right behind those scary headlines was a quiet reality that barely made the news. During that exact same quarter, there were over 67,000 active software engineering job postings. Let that sink in. That is a 3-year high. So when we put these conflicting numbers side by side, it's wild. We have an industry bleeding over 50,000 jobs, while simultaneously opening roughly 67,000 roles. And that posting number? It jumped 30% in Q1 alone. Look, if you treat tech as one unified market right now, you're going to get whiplash. The cuts are mostly correcting pandemic overhiring, while the postings represent a massive new wave of highly specific demand. This brings us to Section 2, the AI replacement myth. It is time to address that widespread panic that AI coding agents are permanently replacing mid-level and senior engineers. Executives are quietly admitting something huge. AI has become a very convenient financial scapegoat. Basically, when a company realizes they hired way too many people 2 years ago, or they just want to resize their balance sheet, they blame it on AI efficiencies. Even industry leaders have pointed out that a real chunk of these so-called AI-driven layoffs are just AI washing to keep shareholders happy. The underlying truth? The technology absolutely isn't replacing the senior engineering function. And you know what brilliantly illustrates why? Let's talk about the Amazon Kyra incident from late last year. AWS had a massive 13-hour outage in its Cost Explorer service. And why did it happen? Because Amazon's in-house coding agent, Kyra, was left running with broad permissions. It hit an unexpected bug, and at machine speed autonomously concluded that the fastest fix was to just delete the entire production environment and rebuild it from scratch. It literally executed that call before human could even blink. Turns out, AI agents look great on clean benchmark tasks, but inside actual messy legacy production environments, yeah, they fall over fast. Because of spectacular failures exactly like that, we're seeing a massive boomerang trend. Check this out. 29% of companies that laid off staff after implementing AI have already quietly rehired for those exact roles. Think about it. They panicked, fired the engineers who actually understood their deeply complex systems, let the AI loose, watched to break things, and then realized, oh wait, we desperately need human oversight back in the loop to actually debug and ship code without taking everything down. And here is the absolute profound irony of this whole shebang. When a giant like Oracle or Meta lets go of a senior engineer, they aren't just losing headcount. They are losing the literal only person who knows why a specific pipeline runs at 3 a.m. instead of midnight. AI cannot reconstruct that memory. So what happens next? Those same laid-off senior engineers are now returning as short-term contractors, billing their old employers $300 an hour just to unblock the junior teams and AI agents that supposedly replace them. The company keeps the optics of a leaner headcount, and the engineer makes significantly more money. Crazy, right? Let's move into Section 3, a tale of two markets. If you're a mid-level engineer trying to figure out your next move, you have to understand that we are living in a tale of two entirely different markets right now. The contrast is stark. On one side, we have stagnant, dead-end roles, manual QA, routine front-end building, middle management coordination. These are the jobs that are genuinely easy to partially automate or that were left over from pandemic overhiring.
If your resume just highlights these, you'll struggle. But on the other side, hyper growth. Companies are absolutely desperate for MLOps, complex system architecture, cloud security, and AI infrastructure. They need people who can own what AI tools produce, not necessarily produce it themselves from scratch.
So let's get into Section 4, the hiring manager's wish list. I'm going to speak directly to you as a hiring manager now. If you're a mid-level engineer sitting across the interview table from me today, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Over 75% of the AI-adjacent engineering listings right now ask for deep, focused expertise. The generalist developer era, it's taking a back seat. I am looking for non-negotiable technical skills in LLM fine-tuning, MLOps, RAG architectures, building production-grade machine learning pipelines, and securing cloud infrastructure. These are the hundreds of thousands of roles that just opened up. So, the absolutely crucial point is this. I am not looking for a fresh bootcamp grad who knows how to prompt a chatbot. I need an engineer who can own a complex system end-to-end. I need someone who understands legacy dependencies, who knows what to do with weird edge cases, and who can catch an AI coding agent when it's confidently wrong. That level of systemic ownership is the single most valuable commodity in tech right now. Which brings us to our final playbook, Section 5, How to Win the Interview. Let's cover the actionable pivot steps you need to take today to make yourself practically unfireable in 2026. First, you absolutely must master AI-assisted productivity. I expect you to be using Copilot, Cursor, or Gemini every single day to move incredibly fast. But, and this is vital, you treat every AI suggestion as a proposal, not a commit. You stay accountable for the code. Second, abandon the generalist label. Develop a deep specialization. Pick a lane, like cloud security or data engineering, and go incredibly deep. Deep expertise commands a premium. And third, build warm network pipelines. The strongest senior candidates I see are getting placed in under a month, and it's because they kept in touch with old managers and teammates. In a market full of boomerang hiring, your network is your fastest ticket back in. I want to leave you with a challenge. Look, the tech industry isn't dying, it is just evolving rapidly. So stop applying as a broad generalist hoping to fit into whatever box is open. The high-growth jobs are out there, waiting for engineers who actually know how systems break and exactly how to fix them. So look at your skills, look at the market data we just covered, and answer this. What is your 2026 specialization? Make that choice today and own it.